So, you want to buy a house in Florida in 2026. You find the perfect one. You look at the seller's taxes, and you just made a gigantic mistake. You think you'll pay $3,000 or $4,000 a year, but what if I told you that your tax bill for the exact same house will be double that amount? This isn't a scam. It's a trap almost everyone falls into. Think of it like this. The seller's tax bill is like a secret VIP discount you got years ago. That special price is non-transferable. The second you buy that house, the discount is completely erased. And you, the new owner, pay the full insane current price. It gets wiped clean the moment you get the keys. In this video, I'm going to give you the secret formula to calculate your real estate 2026 Brevard County property tax bill from scratch. That way, you'll know exactly what you'll pay. And we're going to talk about a massive proposal on the ballot this November that could change everything and save you thousands of dollars. Listen, I'm Stephen Thomas, and my only mission is to make sure you're the smartest buyer in Florida. Let's do it. Let's get right to the million-dollar question. Why is your tax bill so much bigger than the seller's? The answer is a crazy Florida law called the Save Our Homes Amendment, or SOH. The Save Our Homes cap is a huge advantage for long-time homeowners. Here's the best way to think about it. Imagine your home's actual market value is a rocket ship blasting off into the sky, but the taxable value is chained to the ground with a tiny rope. The 2026 cap, for instance, is 2.7%. So even if the rocket ship value goes up to 15%, the taxable value can only creep up a few feet. Over many years, this creates a massive gap between the market value, which is the rocket ship, and the assessed value, which is the starting point. Your neighbor who bought 20 years ago might be paying taxes on a value of over $150,000, even though their home was now worth $500,000. That $350,000 gap is their Save Our Homes benefit. But here's the trap. The moment the property is sold, the chain breaks. The government resets the starting point all the way up to where the rocket ship is. So when you buy that $500,000 home, your tax journey starts at $500,000. Not the seller's ridiculously low $150,000. This is the sticker shock that destroys budgets. The seller's tax bill gives you a false sense of security. You have to run your own numbers, and that's exactly what we're about to do. Deep down, the property tax formula is shockingly simple. It's a basic recipe with only 3 ingredients. If you get these 3 things, you can build a perfect estimate for any property in Brevard County. The formula is taxable value divided by $1,000 times the millage rate. That's it. But the secret is figuring out the taxable value and also what that millage rate even is. The 3 ingredients are your property's assessed value, the local millage rates, and any exemptions that you can get. Let's break that down one by one. Ingredient number 1 is the assessed value. When you buy a house, the Brevard County property appraiser determines its just value, which is basically its market value. For a new buyer, the absolute best number for your budget is your purchase price. So if you buy a home for, say, $400,000, you have to plan your budget around an initial assessed value of $400,000. The appraiser doesn't have to use your purchase price, but it's the number 1 benchmark they use for the first year. This assessed value is our massive starter number before we start subtracting things to lower our bill. Ingredient number 2 is the millage rate. Now, it sounds complicated, but it's not. 1 mil is just $1 of tax for every $1,000 of your property's value. A rate of 15 mils means you pay $15 for every $1,000. The total rate isn't just one number. It's a stack of different bills from every part of the government. You've got a bill from Brevard County, another one from the school district, one from your city like Melbourne or Palm Bay, and sometimes even smaller charges. And because of this, millage rates are all over the place, usually from 12 to 19 mils. You absolutely must check the specific rate for the house you want. The only place to do this is the Brevard County Property Appraiser's official website. You can look up any address and see the exact rates that will apply to you. The 3rd ingredient, and your absolute best friend, is exemptions. Exemptions literally slash your home's value, which directly crushes your tax bill. The most important one that almost every single person gets in Florida is the Florida's home exemption. If you own and live in a home in Brevard County as your permanent residence on January 1st, you get the exemption. Think of it like getting 2 different coupons. The first coupon is for $25,000 off your home's value. It applies to every single tax. We're talking county, city, and schools. The second coupon is for another $25,000 off, but only for a part of the home's value between $50,000 and $75,000. And this coupon can only be used for non-school taxes. So if your house is worth $75,000 or more, you get a $50,000 discount for non-school taxes and a $25,000 discount for school taxes. This weird split is critical for doing the math. The deadline to file for homestead is March 1st, so you pretty much have to do it right after you move in. All right, let's put all of this together and run through a mind-blowing calculation. Imagine you buy a home in a city like Melbourne for $400,000. You apply for it and get the standard homestead exemption. For your first year, we assume the assessed value is the price you paid, which is $400,000. Now for step 2, you're gonna wanna find a millage rate. We'll use a hypothetical total rate of 14 mils. Now remember, this is just an example. Let's say it's 6 mils for the school board and 8 mils for non-school for stuff like the city and the county. You have to get the real numbers from the appraiser's website. And for step 3, you're gonna wanna calculate the taxable value. This is where our 2 coupons force us to do 2 separate calculations. It's insane. Now for school taxes, you only get the first $25,000 coupon. So on a $400,000 assessed value home, minus a $25,000 exemption, that equals $375,000. And that right there is the school's taxable value. Now for the non-school taxes, you get coupons for the full $50,000 discount. Now on a $400,000 assessed value home, you're gonna take away $50,000, which is the exemption. That's gonna leave you at $350,000. And that's the non-school taxable value. So on the final step to calculate the final tax bill, now we have to unleash the millage rates on our 2 different taxable values. So on the school tax bill, you're gonna do $375,000 divided by 1,000. And you're gonna multiply that by 6 mils, that's gonna leave you with $2,250. Now for the non-school tax bill, we're gonna use the $350,000 valuation, divide that by 1,000, times that by 8 mils, you're looking at $2,800. So your total estimated ad valorem tax, we're looking at $2,250 plus $2,800. That's gonna equal $5,050. That's $5,050 on your main tax bill. And as you can see, it's way bigger than what the last owner was paying with their ancient Save Our Homes discount. But wait, there is more. Your final tax bill has one last section, which is non-ad valorem assessments. These are not based on your property's value at all. They are just flat fees for services. Think of things like garbage collection, storm water drains, or even street lights. These can add another few hundred to over $1,000 to your total bill. You can find these on any old tax bill from the Brevard County tax collector's website. And for our situation, let's add another $500 for the fee. So our grand total tax estimate for this $400,000 home will be $5,050 plus $500, which is $5,550. Okay, that was a lot of math, but it's exactly what you need to avoid a budget catastrophe. If navigating this feels overwhelming and you want an expert to guide you through the whole entire buying process, from finding the perfect home to ensuring there is no financial surprises, my team and I are here to help you. If you're looking to buy in Brevard County, click the link in the description below to book a call with me. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Move to Florida the right way. Now, there is one way to escape the sticker shock rule. And for people who already own a home in Florida, it's a huge deal. It's called portability. Think of portability like a tax savings backpack. If you sell a Florida home that already has a homestead exemption, you've been stuffing savings into the backpack for years. Florida lets you carry that backpack to your new home. And here's the craziest part. If you upsize to a more expensive home, you can dump your entire savings benefit out of your backpack of up to $500,000, and you can subtract it from the new home's value. This alone can save you thousands. Now, if you downsize to a cheaper home, it works a little differently. You only get to take out a percentage of your savings from your backpack. Now, this is a massive cheat code that you have to apply for when you file for your new homestead exemption. That portability backpack we just talked about is one of the most powerful and misunderstood tools for many homeowners in Florida. Maximizing that benefit when you sell is key to affording your next home. Now, if you're thinking about selling your home here in Brevard County and want to make sure you're taking every last dollars of your tax savings, let's talk. Click the link in the description below to book a call with yours truly. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Sell in Florida the right way. Now let's talk about the future, because everything we just did could become obsolete. The numbers we just ran today use today's laws, but there is a monumental proposed constitutional amendment, HJR 1F, on the ballot for the November 3rd, 2026 election. If this passes, it will change Florida property tax forever. Here's the insane stuff it would do, starting in 2027. First, for non-school taxes, it would create a new gigantic homestead exemption, jacking it up to $150,000 in 2027 and then $250,000 in 2028. That's a huge cut to your home's taxable value. Second, there's a residency rule. To get this new exemption right away, you have to have a Florida homestead by the end of 2026. New residents might have to wait 5 years to qualify for the full amount. Third, for non-homestead properties like rentals and businesses, it could slash the annual tax increase cap from 10% down to 5%. Let's see what this could mean for our example if it passes. Fast forward to 2028 with the full $250,000 exemption. The school tax doesn't change, which makes it $2,250, but the non-school tax gets completely transformed. So to kind of run the numbers, $400,000, which is the assessed value, minus $250,000, which is the new exemption, that equals only $150,000. But that's the taxable value. So if you take the $150,000, divide that by 1,000, and you multiply that by 8 meals, that's only $1,200. Your new total ad valorem tax will be $3,450, and that's compared to the $5,050 under the new current rules. That's a potential savings of $1,600 every single year. This is a massive wild card that every person in Florida needs to be watching. So, how much will you actually pay in property taxes in Brevard County in 2026? The only honest answer is, it depends. It depends on your purchase price, the insane millage rate at your specific address, and what Florida voters decide to do this November. But guess what? You're no longer in the dark now. You have the exact framework to build an unbreakable estimate. You know to completely ignore the seller's tax history, find your real millage rate on the Brevard County Property Appraiser's website, and apply the homestead exemption like a pro. And now you know about the biggest change to taxes that could ever happen. So here's my final challenge for you. Plan your budget using today's tax laws. If the amendment passes, you can celebrate it as a massive future win. And whether you're looking to buy that first home, sell your current home to cash in on its value, or find that right investment property in today's changing market, you don't have to do any of this alone. For a personal consultation on your Brevard County real estate goals, click the link in the description below to book a call with me. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Move to Florida the right way. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.